4, 3, 2, 1, go! And the first ever national live lottery draw takes place.
The National Lottery. For decades, millions of people have pinned their hopes and dreams on winning a life-changing jackpot. The idea of being in it to win it has captured the hope of the nation through champagne moments and nearly winners. The concept is simple, choosing 6 numbers to change your life at the cost of £2.
60% of adults in the UK play the National Lottery. But why do so many of us take part when the odds of winning are so astronomically stacked against us? When the odds of global extinction by asteroid 600 times more likely?
I want to discover what compels people to keep playing in spite of the odds, and why they think their luck will change even after weeks and maybe even years of not winning. This is Mary. She's been in it to win it since day one, playing both online and in person. She asked to remain anonymous.
My numbers are my birth date, my birthday, the month, my mum's birthday, my door number, or my mum's death, or her year. Because they mean something to me, I think myself that they might give me some kind of luck. And I got 4 numbers, and that was 100 and something pounds. And I thought I picked another number, which was going to be my birthday. And had I got that number, I would have got over £5,000. So now I've had dreams of that as well.
Tell me about those dreams.
I've had dreams that I've won. I could buy my house. I'm going on holiday and everything.
I wanted to know how far Mary has gone to try her luck.
It was my birthday, but I thought, oh, let me buy one at the coach station. Let me buy one at the village. And then when I was going back, I said, let me buy another one. So I bought 4 of them in different locations.
So how much do you think you spent on the lottery?
So I'd say like £20
a month?
Yeah. That's like nearly £4,000.
On lottery tickets since the beginning?
Yeah.
This made me wonder if the hope of winning can lead people to addictive tendencies. Although playing the National Lottery is not currently legally classified as gambling, Camelot, the lottery's regulator, are nationally accredited by GamCare, aiding players to seek help for the social impacts of gambling. Mike Kenwood is GamCare's development officer and helpline advisor.
The lottery, it was classified as low stakes entertainment, which is quite an interesting notion because for all intents and purposes it's staking money on the prospect of winning a prize. The thought of a life-changing sum of money is something that provides people with hope. It's about putting the rest of the world over there on hold and on pause. But because the stake is low, it's relatively affordable to buy into that dream. And the other added difference, I suppose, that gambling provides, that things like drugs and alcohol don't provide, is that gambling gives the illusion of a way out of all of one's problems, because the idea that you will win big and solve everything is on the horizon. The logic that goes on in the person's mind at that point, that this is like an investment that they're entitled to win back money on. In the same way that when you go to the cinema, you're buying an experience of entertainment. When you gamble, you're purchasing an experience of risk. It's not a life or death situation. It's like we're going to chase down an antelope and risk being killed, but we are engaging with those same thoughts and feelings when we gamble because we want to experience that moment of jeopardy. And it's that people continue to play for and continue to invest their winnings in.
It's not an addiction, it's just a hope, that you can have a change of life.
Then, what does this hope amount to? What exactly are the odds of winning the lottery? To find out, I went to the University of Sussex to speak to lottery expert Dr. John Haig. The current National Lottery.
Yeah.
What are the odds of winning?
If you buy one ticket, no matter how you choose your numbers, the chance that combination will be selected next time is 1 in 45 million. So you might think of it as following. Suppose you take a sort of a middle-aged man in reasonable health, and they might have a chance of 1 in 1,000 of dying in the next year. Well, if they've got a chance of 1 in 1,000 of dying in the next year, they've got a chance of 1 in 52,000 of dying in the next week, 1 in 365,000 of dying in the next day, in the next 24 hours, about 1 in 8 million of dying within the next hour. To get you to 1 in 45 million, it's the chance of dying in the next 10 or 12 minutes. But it is a chance that you'll win an absolutely life-changing amount of money. It enables them to indulge in a dream.
So is this dream why people fixate so much on winning the lottery? But how about the games, which are perhaps more rewarding and have better odds? So to find this out, I've come down to the seaside town of Osborne to play some bingo.
If you go to a seaside, on your holidays, you always go to the pier, get an ice cream, donuts, or maybe play some bingo.
So a lot of what makes bingo is inherently very similar to the National Lottery. Take the 2 slips you're given, for instance. They're full of numbers. The only difference is that with bingo, you're given a spread of numbers, versus the National Lottery, you choose your 6 numbers. Apart from that, they're very similar. You hope with your slips for either a ball to hurtle out of a machine or your number to be called by a bingo caller. And with the odds of winning at bingo, approximately 1 in 25, you're far more likely to win here than at the National Lottery. Yes, there's less potential for prize money, but there was a sense of community here. There was a serenity, there was an energy to the place.
On its own, the number 5.
Paul Ansell's the assistant manager of Leo Leisure Bingo in Eastbourne.
What brings people back is the thrill of the chase. If they've won a few times, they're like, oh, right, okay, I'm in one, been once, see if we can go again. Once they're in here, they kind of each know each other's by their names, they know each other's by their seats. You'll have people that are quite superstitious where they'll have birth dates or they'll have just a number they've always won on, so they'll always come in and try and get that board themselves. With lottery, you're playing against millions and millions and millions of people. Yes, obviously it is a bigger prize money, but the buzz itself isn't, I don't think it lasts as long.
Even so, monumentally more people play the National Lottery as opposed to bingo. So is the question of why people play down to how Camelot incentivises people to take part? Professor Ian Walker spoke to me about how the lotto game is designed.
Yeah, it was a strange product. I thought it would never fly. I was proved wrong. Bingo, like lotto, is a money redistribution machine. Lots of people put some money in, and 1 or 2 lucky people take a lot out. Whereas lotto was never really designed to generate depth of play. It was supposed to generate breadth. So, ideally they wanted millions and millions of people to each spend £1. First of all, lotto has to be cheap. The sticker price has to be low, otherwise people are not going to play it. What people like to see are large jackpots. So we want a Goldilocks version of the game. We want the game to match the size of the market. But you have to make the game interesting enough for enough people to carry on playing week after week. On average, you lose most by playing lotto. You could do better financially by doing almost anything else. But even though it's a remote chance, somehow there's what you're buying is a dream, not a realistic chance. Because if the more remote that dream becomes, the more credible it seems to be for people to be able to fool themselves.
You cannot change your odds of winning. What you want to do is to choose a set of numbers that other people are not choosing, because then if you do happen to win, you share the prize with fewer others. People who once they started playing the lottery took the attitude that they owned a set of numbers, and they'd better keep buying those numbers, because if those numbers ever came up when they hadn't bought a ticket, that would be fate hammering them in the teeth, and they didn't want that. Because the numbers are 1 to 59, then the average number is 30, the symmetry around that. So if you choose 6 numbers, then the average score is 6 30s, which is 180. If you're choosing a total of at least 220, say, then that is not going to be achieved by people who are choosing birthday numbers. What you can do is you can have an artificial device, you can get some playing cards and add another 7 to it and identify those 59 cards with the 59 numbers, shuffle your playing cards and deal out 6 completely at random and do a few checks on them. Is the total at least 220? Are there at least 2 round the edges of the card? Are there at least 1 little cluster? They're not evenly spread out. Just a final check. Has this combination been actually the winning combination recently? And it doesn't form a pretty pattern on the card, then You can select the numbers.
So let's put this theory to the test. Well, this is the tickets with the numbers and combination I picked with the method devised by Dr. John Haig. I've got a group of friends behind me who are all going to put the odds to the test. They've each bought a national lottery ticket and we're going to watch the draw on the television behind me. So let's see what happens. We talked to a statistician last week and he said your odds, regardless of the numbers you pick, will always be 1 in 45 million of winning. Right. And he equated that to essentially the odds of dying in the next 12 minutes. The odds of winning the lottery. How does that make you all feel?
That I don't want to die in the next 12 minutes.
That, as in...
I mean, if I had to pick between the two, I'd definitely take the lottery. I went with a lucky dip. Can't go wrong with a lucky dip.
How about you, Matt?
I went slightly generic. They're numbers that might mean very little to anybody else, but to me they're the 6 best players in the Boston Red Sox.
43. So there's still 4 to go.
For the people that chose the lucky dip, have you seen your numbers? Do you like them?
I don't think they're very good.
No?
I think it's a good range. There's a 5 in there, and 5 is lucky for me.
I've got one of them.
Yeah. Why is there hope when the odds are so astronomically stacked against them?
I think it is that you've got to be in it to win it principle. It's one. It may well be 1 in. Was it 1 in 50 million?
45.
1 in 45 million. But somebody still. It was only last week we saw somebody took 130 million on the Euro Millions. If you don't buy the ticket, that can't be you. And I think that's what draws people in.
Bonus. 20.
So none of us won, not even any of the small prizes. It just goes to show no matter how much you pick your numbers, the odds will always be 1 in 45 million. But I went back to Dr. John Haig, who explained the importance of choosing your numbers randomly.
People confuse an even spread of numbers with a random spread of numbers. There's a famous example from the Irish lottery where the jackpot was shared between 2 people and they had each chosen their numbers by using the dates of birth, death and ordination of the same priest. The most outstanding thing that ever happened in the lottery was on draw 9 back in January 1995, and about 70 million tickets were sold. If people are choosing at random, you'd expect each of the 14 million combinations to be chosen about 5 times, but it was actually chosen 126 times. The winning numbers were 7, 17, 23, 32, 38, and 42. Mm-hmm. You could imagine somebody just going down the lottery
because this is what a ticket.
That's what the ticket looked like, and they're going thinking they're doing it at random.
But if you play the lottery 45 million times in different instances, it would not guarantee your victory.
No, you're not. If the chance is 1 in 45 million and you do it 45 million times, the chance it never comes up is, to all intents and purposes, 37%. And if you do it 135 million times, in other words 3 times that, you've still got a 5% chance of never having hit the jackpot.
So ultimately, you might never win the national lottery, and that is the reality a lot of us have to face. But the common denominator of all the conversations I've had is the prospect of hope, the joys of playing, the joys of chancing your luck, the joys that thinking this one ticket might just change your life.
Your friend who's lost £4,000 in the space of 15 years, well, she's won every week in the sense that she's enjoyed the experience. In a sense, it would be irrational for her to stop playing. The attractive thing about this product is that many people do not have great opportunities for changing their lives in a really big way.
Do you think you'll ever stop?
Well, yeah, if I won, I would stop. I would stop, yes. But I probably won't. I really won't.